In this video, I'm going to be covering not 10, not 20, but 30 plus wishlist features I would like to see on iOS 16. Let's begin. Before I even get started with this video, make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on for more videos like this one. And while you're at it, I appreciate it with a thumbs up, and follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at simplypops. Feature number 1, this goes without saying, I would like to see a redesigned home screen icons. Now, right now I install these icons using the shortcut app, but these are the stock icons that we see here. We are long overdue. We've been seeing the same old icons since iOS 7, which is approximately 9 years, since 2013, and hopefully they can implement the same exact icons that are found on macOS. I love the macOS icons. Feature number 2, I would like to see a redesign to the control center. We had the same exact control center since iOS 11. I believe it is time, and iOS 11 came out in 2018. Or maybe reverse the toggles here, have it sideways. And while we at it, why not get an auto brightness toggle right here? So on the bottom, you guys can see dark mode, night shift, and true tone. Add in another toggle to enable or disable auto brightness. This next one is a pretty high demand feature. It is split screen multitasking, so to be able to open up 2 apps at once. So in this case, I could be watching a YouTube video and surf the web at the same time. Yes, you could do this on iPadOS, but you cannot do it on an iPhone, which is unfortunate because you have the Pro Max size. iPhone screen sizes are getting bigger and bigger. It's definitely enough room to have 2 apps open at the same time. Another feature would have to be an always on display. So when your phone is off, you just see this. An always on display would be able to give you critical information such as the time, potentially maybe the weather, maybe you could have a picture. It's just always going to show on your phone. I would like to see live wallpapers on the home screen, so give yourself like a nice slideshow. So having this picture, then maybe have it fade into the next picture. This will be awesome. Even so, if you're swiping through your pages, it has different wallpapers, just making your home screen feel a little bit more alive by having different pictures. That would be really cool. So on macOS, you have it where you have a wallpaper for the morning time, the noon, the evening, and then the night. Here you only have day and night, depending if you're invoking dark mode. So if I launch up this wallpaper, it'll be light, but when I invoke dark mode, it'll be dark. This is cool. I like this, but why not change this dynamically? So depending on the time, you have the morning time of this shot, then the afternoon, then the evening, and then boom, at night. Depending on your time, not depending on when you select dark mode. We should have icon size widgets. What I mean by that is basically show you what's going on with each app. So for example, a weather app, it'll show you the temperature, and it always would be dynamically changing. Instead of having these big platters here or these bigger icons, it would be nice to have an icon size widget, and it's big enough where you can see what's going on. And to go alongside with that, just interactable widgets in general. So interactable widgets, so to be able to interact with each widget from launching the app and then doing all this stuff, do it right here from your home screen. That would be really cool. An icon store, so having an icon downloader on the App Store would be cool. This exploded in popularity to be able to customize your iOS icon. So having that native on the App Store would be a big money maker for Apple and developers. It'll just overall help save time if Apple would take this more seriously, but I'm not sure if they will. And next up, I would love to see the battery percentage. So to be able to have that battery percentage right there on the notch. This is a feature I just don't understand why Apple removed. And really they say it's just a hardware limitation. We need home screen support again. You guys remember this? To be able to use your iPhone through landscape on the home screen. And you know what boggles my mind with that? It's only on the Plus model iPhone, so the iPhone 6 Plus, 7 Plus, 8 Plus, but it's not available on the XS Max, 11 Pro Max. You guys get the idea. Now, I'm going to get a little goofy now. I want to be able to see audio multitasking. So what I mean by that is, this depends on the developers. On Instagram, this works perfectly fine, but there's some instances where the music will cut out. So if I'm listening to Apple Music and I'm playing another audio, it automatically will pause the Apple Music. But on Instagram, you could be able to use both. I know for sure on YouTube, if you're playing a YouTube video, you can't have Apple Music going. So maybe that's just the developers will have to enable. Custom lock screen toggles. So you guys see the 2 toggles on the bottom. So we have the flashlight and the camera. We should customize that. Maybe make a calculator and a calendar, or the weather. Something other than just these 2. And overall, we just need a lock screen redesign altogether. Change up the music player, change up the way how the notifications look. Just change everything up. It shouldn't be no need to swipe to the left to activate your camera and have the toggle on the bottom. Just give us the option to launch up apps. Next, I want to see iOS on Android. Last year, Apple introduced FaceTime to Android, so why not continue that trend with iMessage? So this would end off the green versus blue message bubbles altogether by introducing iMessage on Android and on Windows PC. Not sure if Apple's really going to do this, but it would actually make a world a better place. Apple Maps should work regardless if you're connected to the internet or not. In this case, I have airplane mode enabled, but if I switch over to Google Maps, I'm still on airplane mode. Now, it is going to require some downloading, but Apple, please incorporate some kind of offline maps for Apple Maps. I would like to see iMessage lock to be able to lock some text messages, authenticate with Touch ID or Face ID to access the convo. We should be able to leave group conversations with 2 people or less. If you have 4 people, then you can leave the group conversation, but if you have 2 people in the group, you cannot leave it. It's just going to be grayed out. Don't understand that. You should be able to lock some apps, so you should be able to lock the Instagram app, lock the Snapchat, authenticate with Touch ID or Face ID, and then you're in the app. And add another layer of security, we should be able to have a fail passcode take a picture. So for example, if someone is trying to unlock my iPhone, trying to try any code, if they try it wrong for X amount of times, it should be able to take a picture of them using the front facing camera of your iPhone and then send it to your email to let you know someone is trying to access your phone. Now, I never really talk about this, but this could be very important for some. New ringtones. I mean, come on, Apple. I hate this one so much. Oh, man. Now, me personally, I like to keep my phone on vibrate. It would be nice to have battery health information on AirPods. You can see your battery health capacity. We should be able to see that for your AirPods. As we know, AirPods degrade battery like hotcakes. They should have an option like this for AirPods, so you'll be able to prepare yourself if you need to replace the battery on your AirPods or not. I want to take it over to the music, EQ. We need real EQ sliders. Have the presets, cool, but we should have actual EQ sliders on Apple Music. It's on the Mac. Bring it to the iPhone, bring it to the iPad. Be able to fine tune exactly how you want your sound. Next up, artwork cover flow. Going back to the iPod days, you guys understand cover flow was a big deal, but nowadays we don't have that no more. They can have cover flow return by rotating your iPhone and be able to go through all the albums that you saved to your library. Now, it would be cool to have hands off on Apple Music. Now, I could easily play it on my HomePod by hovering over, but what about other Apple devices like my iPad mini? Let's say I'm listening to this and I want to pick up where I left off on my iPad. I can't do that. I would love to have the toggle to remove the home bar, so you guys always see this home bar on the bottom. After a while, we get it. We know how to swipe up to get home. So sometimes it could just look a little distracting and just look tacky. Also, Siri improvements. This goes without saying. I find that Siri always take it over to the web and she just say, here's what I found on the web. We need to get rid of that. Just tell us what's on the web. So hopefully Apple can bring major improvements to Siri to bring it up into the competition. All right, let's say I'm making a video, right? And of course, I shoot my video horizontally. You guys see it switched the orientation. That's cool. But let's say I want to activate the orientation lock. See, look, it's on. Matter of fact, it's on right now. So why is it that I could change the orientation through the camera app, but the orientation lock is on? Basically, if the orientation lock is always on, this should always be locked towards landscape. But when I put this on the mount or anything, sometimes it switched to portrait. I don't understand that. It's so annoying, in fact, that I'm willing to email Apple to really look into it. Also, faster animations would not hurt. Now, iOS animations improve throughout time, but it could be even faster. It could be a little bit more faster than this. Also on the list, more iCloud storage. The days of 5 gigabytes on iCloud is just a joke now. So Apple, please give us 10 gigabytes. Give us 10. It would be cool to give us 15, but at least 10 gigabytes. Be able to give us the option to remove similar photos. So I took 2 photos of pretty much similar things. iOS should be able to scan the photos, and of course, privacy is a thing. So have the system on the chip identify which photos are similar. and give us the option to delete any similarity photos. I'm going to briefly mention some CarPlay features I would like to see on iOS 16. Pinch to zoom on maps. It is a pain in the neck to be able to use those arrow keys. I don't understand why Apple just doesn't incorporate a pinch to zoom on the CarPlay. Next, I would like to see widgets, just like iOS here, have it on the CarPlay. So on the CarPlay, you have a status bar on the left. Why not add in the current temperature outside? So the current temperature would be ideal. Display scaling. So depending on your CarPlay size, you should be able to display scale your Apple CarPlay. So maybe make it smaller, maybe make it bigger. You should have that option. CarPlay keyboard. You don't have a keyboard on CarPlay. You only have dictation. And it makes sense. While you're driving, you don't want to interact with the navigation while you're driving, but it should only be present when you're stationary. That's the catch. So if the car is in motion, then it activate dictation where you have to talk to text. But if your car is parked up or stationary, it should come up with the keyboard. That would be really smart of Apple to do. And I know they're not going to add this feature, but I'm going to throw it in there. You should be able to watch movies. This could be another one of those features. If you're driving, it's not going to play the movie. If you're parked up and the car's not moving, then you should be able to play it. All the features that I want to see on iOS 16, I want to see it on iPadOS. Now on iPadOS 16, I would like to see some kind of DeX mode. So if I connect my iPad to an external display, give us a toggle to give us desktop mode on the iPad. So essentially hooking this up to be able to have macOS. Now, I don't think Apple is going to do that anytime soon, but hey, only one can hope to dream. User profiles will be very ideal. Essentially nowadays people are using their iPads to, as a desktop computer to check their emails. And it goes without saying, every year I say this, but I'm gonna say it again, the weather app and the calendar app on the iPad. Please, Apple, give us a calculator app on the iPad. Not really too crazy about the weather because they have a weather widget, but the calculator, we need a calculator app on the iPad. 16:9 aspect ratio, so be able to hook this up to a monitor. It should be able to fill in the spots, so no more black bars. You should be able to have iPadOS scaled by 16:9. Pro apps, people have been crying for Final Cut Pro to make its way on to the iPad Pro, and hopefully iPadOS 16 will be able to see pro applications such as Final Cut Pro, Xcode, Logic. We need these apps. And even so, we have the Magic Keyboard, we have a trackpad, we have everything. We have the power, the screen. Give us Final Cut Pro, and that would pretty much change the game for the iPad. That's all I have for the iPad. I really don't have that much. So guys, that's pretty much it. Those are all the features I would like to see on iOS 16 and on iPadOS 16. Drop a like on this video, help me out tremendously, and make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on for more videos like this one.